Alright, we're back. And Nephthys has just finished meeting Master Comfortable Sandal. Todd, you were saying you wanted to do something?
Yeah, so I assume Sunan and I are just, like, waiting outside.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I assume that too. Yep.
Sunan, could I confide in you?
I sort of frown a little bit, I get a bit of a why would you want to do that expression? But then I sort of I adopt a more serious face and I say, of course. What's wrong?
I miss them.
And I think, I don't know. I think Sunan is sort of has a moment of hoodoo. Oh wait, and just sort of nods kind of uncomfortably, a little bit. Now here's an interesting question. Have I?
That's those whom I think. Have you?
Yeah. Have I talked to Raindrop?
So this is the thing. This is the thing. The mechanics of the game seem to indicate that whatever kind of ghost I am, I'm not a ghost with a body. I'm not a person-shaped ghost. I am something less still human than that.
Mm-hmm. So does that mean that I wouldn't be able to communicate with you by my normal methods, though?
I don't know.
It specifically lists ghosts in there. I talk to ghosts.
And the rules call you a ghost. So therefore...
They do. It's true.
So then I think it's actually a question for you. Have you, do you come when I call you?
Yes.
Have you allowed me to have conversations with you?
I don't... This is the part of the game. This is the thing where the game is not giving me anything to work with, because the specifics on you are playing a ghost now. What does that mean? What is your job? What is your motivation? None of that is explained at all. I'm just given a set of tools and told to make something up, which is quite frustrating.
Okay, alright. So here's the thing, Emily. If you read your move.
My one. So mine says
Me conjure a spirit, ghost, or god, and bargain with it for services.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Just I found the wrong bit. It's under there, isn't it? It's under...
Hang on a minute, because the actual wording in the game is when you wish to bargain with the gods of the world or heaven. It doesn't actually mention spirits or ghosts at all.
A spirit, ghost, or god for conjuring. Well, no. I think what I understood was that it is saying you can use conjuring, the conjuring thing, to call spirits, ghosts, or gods. That's how I read that. Conjuring is more like a... When it's listed under the magic chapter, it seems to be these are the kinds of things you can do with conjuring, and then under shaman, my specific move says spirits, ghosts, or gods.
Yeah, right.
Shaman move.
That is interesting.
Yeah, so it's the shaman move, not the conjuring move, that specifies that.
Yep.
Yeah. What?
So I mean that specifically says I can only call. So I could only call Raindrop for bargaining purposes.
Which means that you can't necessarily talk to them, right? You can only establish.
Yeah, not for
bargain.
general conversation.
Yeah.
I can only make deals. Do you let me make deals with you?
I'm trying to figure out what my jam is. Because here is the thing, right? I am a hungry ghost,
Yep, exactly.
which means I am a being who is driven by intense emotional needs in an animalistic way, as opposed to a generic, like, spirit of a deceased ancestor ghost. I am a different
Yeah, which
thing.
means like you're okay. So here's the thing: you're acting in an animalistic way, right? Which would suggest, if you were an alive thing, that you were following your dharma, but you're not.
I'm now a ghost. I don't have. I'm outside of the cycle of dharma because, like, I am meant to have just gone back to the wheel.
So
Like, being a ghost is not following your dharma. I would argue.
yeah,
Like, fundamentally. Am I okay? There are three main kinds of a hungry ghost. Am I a hungry ghost with no wealth? Okay, I'm a hungry ghost with no wealth.
what does that mean?
Cool. Okay, yeah. Okay, I know exactly what kind of hungry ghost I am. This is cool.
Cool.
I'm not going to tell you guys because I want to say it's gonna be good, right? Like,
Is this from the book, or
no? This is me. Like, Adam has used that term, and so I am now going to draw on, like, actual hungry
yeah?
ghost.
I was thinking that the thing
Like-
you're probably hungry for is actually dharma. So if people are spending dharma around you, that is the thing that you could potentially be feeding off of.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's another thing. I think that if people spend dharma around you, you might get it. If I were hacking the system.
Yeah. I think, yeah. What is the emotional need that I didn't get fulfilled in life? I think the answer is I don't think it works because I don't think the hungry ghost recognizes the name Defiant Lone Raindrop at all.
I don't know that
It's not the name
matters.
that's used. What's the thing that you offer to lure them?
Exactly, that's it. It's whether or not, whether or not you. What would be the
don't
thing
we
that
just need to offer robes?
yeah, exactly.
I like the idea of burning a wizard's robe in order to summon them.
Yep, something like that. Yeah, that's kind of a cool one. I like
So
that.
actually, here's my question: is this maybe the first time that you have tried to summon me since?
Oh, no, I would have tried it straight away.
And I'm not asking them to summon.
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to ascertain whether or not I would have absolutely tried it at like straight up, and probably multiple times if it didn't work the first time. So in order to answer Iago with my own thoughts, I need to know whether that ever worked.
Yeah. I don't think so. I think they may have been compelled to come, but you don't have second sight, which means that if a ghost does not wish to be seen.
Yeah, exactly. No, you have to. You have to.
I think for reasons that may become sad and apparent.
Yep.
During play, I think Raindrop has refused to manifest.
Not turned up. Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Sorry, Todd. You were going to say something?
Yeah, if a spirit has been reincarnated in the wheel, you wouldn't be able to summon them, right?
No, you can't.
So I just assume. Yeah. So I just assume Raindrop has been. Yep. Okay. Yeah.
You can only summon ghosts of people who have somehow been fucked up.
Yeah. Okay.
The only reason that what's her name was a ghost still was because the priests didn't send her.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So I think So sorry to bring us back to the here and now. So I think I sort of nod uncomfortably, and I say, so do I. I thought maybe they were still around and I could talk to them, but they've never answered when I call, so I suppose they've gone on.
Or what I'll be reincarnated as. I've lived a very violent life, full of lies and deceit.
Don't fear it. It's whatever is going to happen will happen.
Yeah.
You could never have done anything about it.
Yeah, I didn't even think about it before I traveled with you guys. It was just living life.
That's all you can do. I think sometimes people expect that they can earn a certain outcome in the future, or make bargains with the Arcana. But I don't think we ever understand what we're bargaining for.
Yep. He just goes back, smoking on his pipe, waiting.
Yep.
Cool. So yeah, Nephthys, when you come out, is there anything you have to say to your friends? Companions?
Yeah, so Nephthys comes out, and she's like adjusting the hooker strap on her shoulder, and she looks at Sinan and says, apparently this librarian likes to bargain.
Well, that sounds good. I like to bargain too.
Don't lie about bargains.
Says we should make our way to these bathhouses. I will have to prepare myself. The humidity is not going to be good for me.
Ah, of course. Is there anything we can do to help you?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Cool. So yeah, evening draws in, and the air in the town, especially in like the side of the town that you're in, starts to smell strongly of eucalypt and peppermint and all of these different these different smells, and you hear the sound of a great bellows being worked, and as you make your way towards the baths, you see this building all up on stilts, much sturdier than a lot of the ones around it, and there's a work area underneath it that has people working at these great fires to heat the baths above, and then there's it's next to the slower river, and you can see that it like diverts some of it off into the baths, and then the water drains away through back into the river on the other side. And yeah, there's all of these scents of the different oils that they put in the water to make it I think there's it's not like lemon balm and eucalypt and peppermint and all these sorts of things that they're putting in the water to make it pleasant. Yes.
I would like to do a thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do something spooky.
Cool.
So I'm gonna spend a point
And I think Nephthys, you can see how many of these fires would you say there are, Ash, under the bathhouse?
There's 4. No, it's 6.
Yeah, so
It's 6.
The 6. So Nephthys, you see 5, and then a pool of sand. That like you can see like the heat shimmer like rising off it, like someone is like heating it, so that those who like come from the Court of Wands, or you know, like you are of a cold-blooded nature, like have an alternative to going in water and steam if that is not like ideal for them. And I think in it you can see there is like a very, very old Naga whose like scales are like practically white from like age and like sun bleaching, and then one of the like a couple of like scalier Mogwai, and they're just kind of like in it up to their waists, like people in a hot tub, but in a tub full of sand. Yeah.
Okay, is that a vision that sticks, or is it?
Yeah, it persists.
Okay.
There are guards posted outside the bathhouse. You see some very influential and fancy-looking people entering.
Yeah.
Do we think that maybe is it only influential and fancy-looking people?
You don't
like,
see anyone
do we
poor
think,
going. Anyone like you don't see like peasant folk going in.
do we think that we would be unwelcome as like muddy adventurer-looking types?
Oh yes, you're trash. Remember?
We're trash. Dang.
We're dungeon fucking trash.
Dang.
I stroll up.
Okay. Useful.
Yeah. Someone walking by is like, oh god.
I just like blow like some pipe smoke in their direction. Keep walking up to the guard, just like going
Yeah.
up.
Guards like, invitation. And like people are walking past without showing anything.
Invitation, and I like look back to Nephthys. Are you telling me that the Grand Mistress?
I would like to spend a point to make someone blurt out a truth.
Okay. Who are you spending to make them blurt out of truth?
Iago.
Yes.
Okay.
This is actually really interesting because I like the question is like, who gets to choose what truth?
I am, to me, the reading that makes most sense, because if I look at, so like the other one is force someone to lie.
Yeah.
So it makes more sense to me to read it as make someone blurt out the truth,
yeah,
rather than
exactly.
just a truth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Because that feels kind of toothless.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
I think that reads well to me. Iago.
Tell the
comes out your
truth,
mouth?
little varmint.
We are here to speak to the librarian, and I don't give a shit about you.
Yeah. All right.
I think, Iago, you just feel, like, just for a moment, and I don't think you even notice it, like, as this happens, you just feel really hot all of a sudden, like, flushed, and you can just very, very faintly feel, if you could identify it, like, these 3 little taloned, like, fingers, but, like, hot, like a scorching branding mark, like, just resting on your shoulder, and then it's just like, yeah.
Yeah, and the guard like squares up and like pushes you in the chest. Like they wouldn't even push you in the chest, right? Like they'd use like the butt of whatever weapon they're carrying to like push you away because you're short. And they're like, and I don't have much taste for mogwai. So if you want to see the librarian so badly, you can wait outside.
Okay, is he like shoving me with like the butt of his spear? And
Yeah.
he's like, okay, I want to try and grab the spear and just shove it back like up into his throat.
Fuck. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Using the special skill, murder. No.
He's not. He's not.
He's not at your mercy, so
Yeah.
you can't.
Cool. I mean, roll body.
Okay.
Hey Ash, did a living character just follow their desire?
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh my god.
Oh dear.
That's bad.
That's a bad result.
That's yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, just because I can't help myself. Hey, Ashley,
Hello.
would you say that Nephthys is tempted by the nice sand buff that she can see?
No, because Nephthys is a pure monk who doesn't seek the pleasures of the flesh.
That's legit, yeah. Ah, well, I tried.
Take a wound. From being like, yeah. You grab the spear and try to like do this, and the guy like
So he just shoves it back down at you like again.
and just turns it round and like with like military efficiency, just like stabs you in the like clavicle, and then like uses it when it's in there to like flick you back towards your friends, and then both of them stand there like at the ready to like take you if you decide to keep like try it again. And yeah.
I like hiss and just back away.
Yep. If you have any armor, that reduces the wound, obviously.
If I want to
Ash,
spend it.
are we within sight of the whirlpool bit of the river?
Yes.
Cool.
It's a little bit further downstream.
Sunan, you see a cool thing.
I like cool things.
Let me describe it to you.
Okay.
So, in the distance, like down back in the direction of the whirlpool, your eyes are caught by like a faint glow coming from underwater. It's like a faint, very, very like watery and diffuse, like golden light. And then all of a sudden you see bobbing up, like from the currents around the whirlpool, in the same places where people would like fish for stuff, are all of these lanterns. Like the festival lanterns that they have in town here, but I think you notice some detail about them that tells you that they're like for funereal rituals. And so just like this, like there must be like hundreds of them just like bobbing up from underneath the whirlpool and like burnt, like there is candles inside them, like, and they are on fire despite having just bobbed up from underwater. And then the current catches them and they all start to float out of the whirlpool and down the river past you. And it's just this like eerie, like ghostly, faint golden light as you see them, like just this row, like perfectly spaced, one at a time row of them, just like floating down in the dead center of the river. And as they get closer, you realize that they're not casting reflections, even though they should. And then as they get like totally really close, you can see that like through the semi-translucent, like red paper that they're encased in, the candles, these like big, dramatic, like white candles, are set in skulls.
Spooky.
Yeah, and this fleet of candles just like keeps floating past you, going somewhere downstream, and you can see them like starting to pull in closer to your side of the river, like some ways away.
I think I want to. I sort of like kind of tap like Nephthys on like the shoulder, and then I just like, but I'm like looking at the lanterns, and then I just start walking toward the lanterns. I want to try and grab one.
Yep.
Cool.
And I don't see the lanterns, right?
Nope.
So I just see Sunang tap me, and
Actually, this is the point where I need, again, right? The rules are not clear. It says manifest a vision. It doesn't give any guidelines as to whether or not I can make that like
yeah.
person specific or whether that's a broad red thing. I think you can see there is a weird glow. Like the middle of the river is more lit by the moonlight than you would expect.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't see any lanterns, no.
Yeah, so Nephthys turns and sees Sunang like walking towards the river, and then looks back in the other direction and sees Iago getting stabbed in the chest. And is like, why is everyone being dumb?
Yeah, fair.
And she like with like swift wind-like efficiency darts over to Iago, like picks him up by the scruff of the neck. I guess not the scruff of the neck because you've got scales, but like by like the back of the shirt.
I've just been stabbed, so
Yeah. And then like slithers up to Sinan and says, "Where are you going?" The librarian's in there.
And I'm like I'm sort of fixated on the water, and like like my eyes are kind of moving like across the surface of the water, like I'm following something. And I sort of say like kind of quietly, "The lanterns, they've got skulls in them. I'm just I want to get one." And I'm kind of like putting my hand out.
So yeah, so actually so Ash, how wide is this river? I've been picturing like wide, not like, you know, a little stream.
Yeah, definitely. It's probably
5, 10?
Yeah, 10. 10
Yeah, so
meters.
and the lanterns are all like dead in the middle of the river.
Okay.
Like an impossibly perfect like regimented line of them. And then like maybe like a kilometer down the track you can see them like starting to curve in towards your back.
Okay, a fair way down.
Yeah.
Okay, but they seem like they're in toward something as opposed to just drifting. Okay.
And I think you see this like redder light down in the depths, and this like this other lantern like bobs up. And it's like the other lanterns, but yeah, the light it sheds is like a little bit like warmer and richer.
Yeah, okay. I think I like take a step into the water, and like as I take a step into the water, I kind of like I don't know that I stop seeing them, but I think I sort of like the shock of the cold kind of like brings me back into, you know, where I am.
Is this the gentle river, or
This if it's the medium river if it's on the other side.
okay? Yeah.
And as soon as you touch the water, you can hear voices.
Ooh, okay.
Like not distinct, like that is like no, like the sounds of a distant party. Like you can hear the sound of like people sitting in a gambling table, like the roar of like someone's just like won a big hand of gambling, surrounded by the groans of everyone who lost, and you can hear like a bunch of people like kampai and like the clinking of soju bottles together, and like music, but like it's like a faint like indistinct hubbub of just like party noise from the lanterns.
Okay. Yeah. So I think like I kind of get this shock and sort of I kind of like blink a little bit, and I turn to Nephthys and I say, you can't see the lanterns, can you?
And at this point, Nephthys is like reaching out to like try and pull you back from.
Yeah.
from like this river that's gonna could sweep you away at any minute.
Yeah, I think I see your hand out and I step out of the river and toward you, sort of to be I'm coming back. And yeah, I look back over my shoulder and I'm like, is that just for me? You can't see them.
Just a river.
Interesting. Again, there's something here. Maybe it's a ghost that is trying to make a bargain. Anyway, sorry, I know that's not what we're here for this evening. But I don't know how we're going to get in there. Especially, and I kind of look to Iago and kind of trail off, and then I'm like, oh wow, you.
Yeah.
Are you alright?
Yeah, I'll be fine.
Nephthys looks at Iago and says, "It's a scratch."
Ash, are we in the cool early half or the later warm half of spring?
So yeah, let's think about
Spring in Vietnam, right?
because it's tropical.
Yeah.
So it's one of the nice periods where it's not super dry and super. I think it's a drier period.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's less.
It's night cold, but there's no real seasonal impact on
Yeah.
it. Yeah, I think Nephthys, your shoulders and the upper part of your back and the back of your neck feel less touched by wind and cold than they should. It's like you can feel the ghost of a garment wearing there, not consciously, but like there is a garment there that is blocking the wind.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, Nephthys, yeah, I think she just says that if we can't get in, we can just wait. Librarian will have to come out at some point.
We don't know who we're looking for. We don't know what he looks like. Also, sorry, has anyone I vaguely recalled hearing pronouns used for
Him.
this?
Yeah. Yep.
Him? Yes,
Yep.
correct. Okay, cool. I just want to make sure I wasn't assuming.
Yep. No, that's good.
Yeah, we don't know who we're looking for.
How tall is the second floor?
15 meters.
Okay.
Because you get in by walking up a path up to the retaining wall across the town, right? And then you walk in.
Yeah, I was just asking.
Is there any part of this wall that isn't in line of sight of a guard?
That sounds like mind.
I get a 9.
Cool. Yeah, there's a section where you could definitely probably you could climb in. It would just be dangerous because you'd be going up a really rickety old part of the wall.
I think I'm still kind of looking looking at the river, watching the lanterns, but now aware that it's just a thing that I'm seeing. And I kind of turn to the other two and I say, if there is a ghost here that is so eager to bargain, maybe we can do a deal. Maybe the ghost can help us get in.
You assume this ghost wants to bargain and isn't just trying to get you killed.
Usually they want to bargain.
Well, I don't place as much trust in the dead as you do.
Place.
I sort of just nod like, yep, that makes sense.
This town has been hostile since we walked in.
That's true, but I suppose they just have very specific ways, like anywhere.
Ash, when Sunan first walked away from the bathhouse to go and check out the river, would you say that was ignoring the immediate?
Yes.
Yeah, I was literally ignoring, like, Iago getting into a fight wherein he got stabbed.
Yep. Good job. Yep, that definitely is.
Yeah, so Neff just looks towards the bathhouse and then like points at this like hidden away area. Says, I can get in, find out who this librarian is, get out.
Do it. I have somebody to watch.
I sort of like nod and I'm like, that seems like a good idea.
Cool.
Yeah, and so Nephthys takes the staff off her back and slithers off into this alleyway. What's the like ground made of here?
I think it's like mostly natural, right? Like it's dirt and like stony and cobbly.
Yeah.
It's not like paved.
Yeah, so she like crouches down and like pulls a handful of dirt out of the ground and then like puts her staff in and like secures it so it's standing up straight by itself.
Yes.
And then she starts doing the climbing up her staff trick.
Yeah.
And is gonna
Look at that reincorporation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's
she's gonna
awesome.
climb up on her staff and then use her tail to wrap into a window and then pull herself up.
Yeah, cool. Roll body.
Emily?
I get a 12.
Yeah.
Sunan can see that the lanterns are now on fire. Like the paper of them has now like also ignited, and they're just like these little like burning islands floating down the river, and they've drifted. They're not in that perfect line anymore. They're in like an arrangement. You're a nomad. You know like stars and constellations, right?
Yeah, makes sense. Yep.
They are like eerily aligned to resemble the astrological constellation of the Tower.
Ooh, alright.
Okay.
That's ominous. Okay.
But like the party is still going on.
Yeah.
Like you can still hear the party. And in fact, the party noise is louder now. And then like they burn down and just like go dark, and the river goes dark.
And I imagine that like the party noise like cuts out when it goes dark.
Yeah, it rises up to like a crescendo, and then the fire is done, and then yeah.
Wow. Okay. That's a very interesting omen.
Sorry, Ashley, we can get back to your 12 now.
Yeah, so
I'm very proud of you.
Yeah, so describe to me, like, you get in there, you sneak your way up, and yeah, you get up to like one of the windows that you can just climb in through. And you can see inside there's this big, yes, look.
So inside, what you see is a vision. Yeah, you look inside and you see this room. And it's walled off from like the rest of the space by like the sliding like rice paper like Japanese doors. Only instead of like the normal spotless white of them because of the paper, there's this like faint uneven misting of red over them, because in this room are a crowd of like very, very well dressed, very like noble looking people, like snarling and cheering like animals as two very, very well dressed women beat the shit out of each other. and like bets are being like passed around the room. And like just Soju is being dragged, and like one of them gets like slugged in the face, and like you see her jaw like dislocate, and she like reels back and is like caught by her friend, who just like pours like a whole bottle of soju down her throat and like shoves her back in there.
Right. Okay.
This is fun. I should have been a ghost from session 1.
I mean, yeah, it's...
Yeah.
I've written my own house rules about how to be a good ghost, and so now I'm just playing the ghost minigame.
So I think Nephthys is maybe starting to like become aware that not to trust everything she sees.
That seems reasonable at this point.
Yeah.
Nephthys is monk.
And so she like takes a deep breath and like tries to like recenter herself.
Fuck you, ghost.
And like does her best to ignore the sounds of the fighting, and is instead looking for someone who looks like they might be an arch clerk.
Yeah.
One of the women has just grabbed the other woman by the hair and pulled her in close, and they're making out now. And then you hear a scream, and one of the women reels back, and the other one spits out the other woman's tongue, and like a mouthful of blood on the ground.
Great.
Whoa, gross.
Okay. Well. Yeah.
Yeah. So she's maybe looking for someone who has brought books in with them and is bathing and is reading a book.
Yeah. I think I want you to roll mind again.
Yeah. I get a 7.
Cool. All right. Yeah. You spot a little old man, big, innocent-looking face. Let me look up the name of the actor that I'm thinking of. But yeah, he's not reading books or anything, but you can see that that like he's like washing his hands before he gets in the baths. And you can see, like, not only does he have ink on his fingers, but it's like smeared on his like head where he's like brushed his hair out of his face and things. So yeah, that's.
I think you also see a faint sheen of blood in the water, and like some of his fingers are starting to bruise up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, great, awesome. He's played by Timothy Spall.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's Peter Pettigrew.
Except, like, not British, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not a whitey.
Yeah. I should take that into account more. Cool. But yeah, he's like washing, and you can see he's being fastidious about it.
So Nephthys is sort of thinking, well, I'm already in here. I might as well like go and introduce myself, and we can set up a meeting for later before I get caught by a guard and kicked out.
Yeah.
And so she slithers up, and she takes her wraps off and gives it to a handmaid.
Yeah.
And she comes up to the basin next to him and begins like washing her hands.
He jumps like a full couple of inches. He's like, oh, sorry. Yeah. And then like kind of calms down. It's like, I didn't notice you there. You've got to be louder when you're in these sorts of places, in case you give people a fright.
Difficult to make footsteps when you have no feet.
He like looks down and says, you have no feet? Oh, goodness. Well, that's very unusual. Well, I assume that you're then a Naga? I've read about you in a tome, a Guide to Monsters by some distant fellow. Very expensive to import.
Yeah, Nephthys says any book that classifies my people as monsters is not worth a dime.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, I'm terribly sorry. Just using what I read, I didn't think that was a problem. Obviously, those books are hard to come by, and so I place a little bit of value on them.
Nephthys says, so you are a collector of books of some kind?
He smiles broadly and is like, I'm a collector of understanding. I take it very importantly. Very, very seriously.
It's very interesting. I have in my possessions with my companions a very interesting book that describes the known pathways to heaven. But there's some missing information. I wonder if maybe you, in your understanding, you can help me fill in some blanks.
His eyes light up and he's like, a book on the pathways to heaven. Goodness, I think that's probably very hard to come by in itself. You must be a very well-connected collector. And yeah, I think he, yeah, you can see him be like switch into like a kind of like scheming mode, almost, where he's like, his brain's now ticking, and he's like, it's been a long day, and I'm not sure that I'm feeling quite relaxed enough for a bath. Would you like to meet with me in the morning? I'm sure that we can organize some kind of arrangement.
That sounds like a wonderful idea.
Cool. Yeah, so he's like, yes, good. And he finishes washing his hands and then goes and like puts his clothes back on and like heads back out of the bathhouse, not having, actually bathed. Yeah. What's happening outside?
I think I've gone over to the river and I'm attempting to talk to ghosts.
Cool. What are you using to offer? What are you offering them?
Well, the vision was all, the lanterns and the candles and the tower. I think I have. You said the houses here are thatched?
Yes.
I think I go to the edge of the bathhouse, somewhere where I'm not gonna sort of be seen by the guards or whatever. And I reach up and I pull a handful of thatch off of the.
Yep. So it's like palm thatching.
Yeah. And then I take that over by the river, the side of the river, and I burn that as the
cool.
The offering.
Yeah, all right.
See if anyone turns up.
So now I'm curious, Ash.
Yeah.
Can I answer these? And I suppose, more significant, my question is, can I, do I have anything to promise in a bargain?
Yeah, right, exactly.
Other than the very small list of things that I can do with my essence.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to know where narrative responsibility lies now for this stuff. Is it just a case of the ghost can throw things in, and then the GM sort of is okay, well now this is a thing. I will do something with this thing that's been thrown in, or is it you are kind of acting as authority for ghost stuff?
Yeah. Well, I mean, specifically, that was a vision. None of that was.
Yeah, none of that's real. Exactly.
So, if anyone answers, it will be me fucking with you.
Is that because are we assuming that the visions are specifically like engineered by a raindrop?
I think
Yes, like the mechanics of the game, like it's the wording is, if I find it, like manifest a vision, which like implies that, especially given the wording of the others, that like like it is on the agency of the ghost, like the ghost makes you see things.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, then I guess it's a question of. I think then it's a question of why Raindrop is choosing to show these particular things.
Yes.
Which I think probably, either something that like. If Raindrop wants to answer my call, there's nothing stopping them from doing that. Or alternatively, like Ash can just be like, "Cool, I'm gonna make up why Raindrop is showing these specific visions and what they're about."
I feel like the latter is starting to tread on the lines of narrative authority established by the game.
I don't know. Yeah.
Like that feels like it is against Adam's intention, but like I'm not Adam, right?
No
Like,
idea.
I can't read things. Anyway, here's what happens. Because actually, I suppose Ash, really here is more significantly my question. Do you think I can appear without spending essence to manifest visions?
Yeah.
Or is my only means of being visible the manifestation of visions?
I mean, I think it is, because you need to be able to. Yeah, you have to manifest to be visible, definitely.
Yeah, cool. All right, awesome.
Yeah.
So here's what happens. I love this because the other thing that it necessarily implies is that when I manifest, I can look like whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah, exactly.
Within the like thematic bounds of whatever I'm spending.
Yeah.
So Emily, here's what happens. You hear a incredibly, deafeningly loud and cheerful laugh.
Right.
And a ghostly skull like chatters its way into existence, with like fire like burning in its eyes and like long streamers of like crepe paper like hair in like red and orange like streaming back so it looks like it still has hair. Yeah, and it's just like hovering in the air in front of you, laughing.
Is it a human skull?
Yeah.
Okay. It's a human skull. Yeah, so I think I sort of like kind of like narrow. I frown at it a bit, like narrow my eyes, and I say, "What do you want?"
What do you want, fleshling? You called me.
Are you making these visions?
It cocks it like literally like turns to a 45-degree angle like a person cocking their head and just laughs. Do you often conjure things when you do not know what they are?
Yes, all the time.
That seems foolish, costly, like the sort of thing that could lead one and one's companions to ruin.
It's
And
my
like
job.
and like the laughter is joined by like a chorus of like other voices. Like an unseen audience is laughing at you.
Yeah, so I think they say so there's nothing you want in the world that you can't manifest yourself.
I think the laughter grows somewhat maniacal, and remind me, was this happening inside?
No, by the river.
By the river, the thatch of like a little patch of like of the reeds next to you, like the dry reeds, starts to like smolder and throw off sparks. And then the laughter like calms down slightly and the smoldering stops.
Yeah,
And that's its
so
answer to your question. Yeah.
I think I sort of say, okay, well, it seems like we have nothing to offer each other.
I think it snaps its teeth. And it says, "Not so fast, shaman."
Yeah, and I think like as they were saying that, like they were going to like put out the like incense that they had.
Yeah. Not so fast, shaman. I am not a servant to be summoned at a whim, nor is any of my kind.
Of course not.
You have made a summons. You must make a bargain. Those are the rules.
Yeah, I think.
I think the smile is starting to look like distinctly. I mean, it's a skull; it can't really emote, but like something about the quality of the smile is starting to grow like distinctly like unsettlingly cheerful.
Yeah, and I think like Sinan like cocks their head, and then like it frowns at you like. Are those the rules? Those are not any of the rules that like I'm familiar with. And they say it was an invitation. You don't have to answer. If you don't want anything, I'll leave you to your business.
I think it laughs, like it bursts into like a raucous cacophony of laughter, and again, it's like joined by like a great chorus of people laughing at your foolishness. Like is the emotive.
I snuff the incense.
Context you get, and like it stays there. Like nothing happens. They're just still laughing at you, and it says, "Call yourself a shaman, and you do not know the rules. Is it that you lied to yourself, or you were lied to? That you do not understand that when one such as yourself calls and offers tribute, we must answer. That is heaven's way. Have you been ignorant of this?" And it like again, like it to the opposite in the opposite direction. It like cocks 45 degrees.
They just don't answer. They like start packing things up and like putting them away in a box.
Very well. If you would work in ignorance of your craft and lead more of your companions to doom, it is not our business. Such a shame what happened when the fire swallowed that poor lonely raindrop. And then it starts like laughing like really, really loud and like so widely that like the like hinges of the jaw like basically dislocate and it like breaks into two halves of a skull and it's just like laughing like disconnected to itself and then just like catches on fire and like burns up.
I like walk over to Iago and I'm like yes, this is a bad town.
Excellent. I think that's a good place for a break then. All right, we'll be back in a minute, chat.